It's the 10th of February 2026, and we are edging ever closer to Keir Starmer standing down. Sir, we've got this. I will never walk away, says Prime Minister, after facing pressure to quit. Now, what's happened in the last day or so is that Keir Starmer essentially has been going through the scandal that we talked about in the last video to do with Peter Mandelson and the fact that he apparently didn't know who he was or how far his relations with Jeffrey Epstein, the world-renowned paedophile, how far that relationship went. Obviously, the common knowledge is that Keir Starmer did absolutely know, which is why he's in this predicament now. Anyway, he is refusing to stand down.
There are some people in recent days who say the Labour government should have a different fight, a fight with itself, instead of a fight for the millions of people who need us to fight for them.
He's saying no, and pretty much we've had the last day or so a lot of news about it. So this story, for example, came out today. This has been going on since yesterday and the day before. As you can see, Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said he will never walk away from the country that I love, after surviving a day of political jeopardy, which saw the Scottish Labour leader call for his resignation, which this did happen as well. We'll quickly talk about this as well. So here we have, he's called Sawa, and essentially he came out yesterday saying that he did not believe Keir Starmer was the man that was going to be able to lead Labour into the next general election, and Sawa's thinking, because he is the leader of Scottish Labour, well, the Scottish Labour are literally hanging on by a thread. The SNP party will wipe them out if Starmer keeps doing what he's doing, essentially, because yes, Scottish Labour is essentially a different arm to the Labour Party. They are still very much interlinked, and what Starmer does in England and the UK is also going to ripple towards the Scottish Labour and then what the Scottish people are going to vote for at their next election. So essentially, we had him come out. I think Keir Starmer's expressed huge respect, saying, oh, well, you know, la 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 la. La la la. He gave his 100% back into the Scottish leader. It seems like damage control. I'm not really going to read much into this, but a similar thing happened back when Boris Johnson got ousted from the Tory party back when he was Prime Minister. Their Scottish Conservative Party leader, he also stood against Boris just before when all the letters of no confidence were coming in, and then that saw his demise not too long after. Anyway, what we've got is Keir Starmer. He also sought to brush off speculation about his leadership, saying he'd lead his party into the next general election. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch said it was clear that the Labour Party had lost confidence in Keir Starmer and that it was a matter of when, not if, he stepped down. And it very much is. Yesterday we had Keir Starmer just before Sawa, the Scottish Labour leader, made his speech. We had a fucking amazing response from the cabinet, essentially, the ministers in the Labour Party working for Keir Starmer. We literally had tweets from them all. The PM won a 5-year mandate from the British people just 18 months ago. Labour governments don't come along often. It is a privilege to serve in one, and we must not waste a second. The PM has my full support. Let's get on with changing the country for the better. I'm not sure what changes have been made so far. If you know of any, let me know. So we had Shabina Mahmood. Angela Rayner also did a few tweets when she's the bookie's favourite to be the next Labour leader. The recent scandal around Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein was shocking and demands that both this government and our own party learn the lessons and act on them. Yeah, we've got another thing here. With Keir Starmer as our Prime Minister, we are turning the country around. I could not agree more with this. You're running the country into the ground. Energy costs are up. Correct. Unemployment is up. Correct. The benefits bill is up. Correct. Deindustrialisation is up. Apart from they did buy the steel factory in Scunthorpe, that is something that it could be good, but they're not even using it anyway. Inflation is actually up since the election, not down. Again, very true. Destroying the country, and they are turning it around, but not for the better. We also had Yvette Cooper saying, oh, he's going to lead our delegation into the Munich and fucking blah, blah, blah. At this crucial time for the world, we need his leadership not just at home, but on the global stage. We need his leadership on the global stage. That's what his leadership looks like on the global stage. But yeah, he's pretty much been struggling for his life. Look at him here. Look at him. This is the most pragmatic I've ever seen him look. That is a great picture. That is a fucking phenomenal picture. I would feel the same if I was Keir Starmer, to be honest. I really, really would. We had Wage Street in as well. He came out yesterday and essentially published a lot of messages that he'd had personally with Peter Mandelson, which essentially he also complained about the way that the Labour government was running. He didn't think that the people were confident in it and that people were going to keep voting for Labour, which he's probably got a good point for, should I say. But the thing is, with what was treating is he wants to be the next Labour leader, so potentially he's trying to say to the other Labour MPs, oh, look at me, I'm on your side, I don't really agree with Starmer either. And trying to put himself in the race without putting himself in the race for the Labour leadership. I genuinely think that with everything that's gone on, I just thought I'd do another video because Keir Starmer is not going to last. As much as this will say he's never going to walk away and that all of these cabinet ministers have got full confidence in him, it's all a load of bullshit. These situations, I've seen them happen before. I've seen it with Boris, I've seen it with Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak. They always say just before they go that, oh, I'm never going to leave. I'm doing the best job I can. The people want me to stay. I've got the mandate. I'm going to be going nowhere. Boris Johnson said the same thing after 2019. They had the biggest mandate that they got. And then Labour took it from him. Starmer is clinging on because, he, like I said before in another video, he doesn't want to present himself as someone that is just essentially the Tory Party point two, where they're going to have various different leaders come in, different scandals, inconsistency. They don't want to be that again, so he's going to try and cling on to power for as long as possible. I'm still sticking with the 12th of February. I think that's when he'll be gone. If he's gone sooner, fair enough. I do have some doubts about the resignation on Thursday. He could stay on a bit longer, but his time is absolutely limited. He's not making it to the next general election, that is for sure. He's probably got a maximum, if it's not going to be this week, it is going to be sometime within the next month or so. And the real good thing to watch for is the Gorton by-election. So here we've got some polls for the Gorton by-election. Reform UK are leading at the moment. It's going to be a tight race, as you can see here. There's not much discrepancy between these figures. It's about 3%. Do I want Reform to win? Don't really care. Don't want Labour to win? Don't really care. I'm not really potentially bothered about who wins in Gorton. I don't live in Gorton. It's got nothing to do with me. The way things are polling and the way things are heading, Reform probably will win because Reform is essentially a protest vote against the current Uniparty, although I believe that Reform is part of the Uniparty. I don't think Reform are going to be any different, even if they do get in. I think, they've got some policies where it's a bit more, it's a bit more in line with what people are thinking. But again, will they actually fulfill that and bring those policies in? I don't know. That's something for another day, I suppose. But Reform actually at this point are the only way that people are really thinking of getting away from Labour and Tories. But again, I think Reform are going to be more of the same. I think Green Party will be more of the same. I don't trust any politician. I think they're all fucking liars. Politicians, I've said it in a comment to someone who commented on one of the shorts that I posted. The only thing you can guarantee that a politician will do is lie. Because that's all they fucking do, ever. They're literally legally allowed to lie about anything on the campaigns. When they're running for an election, they don't have to tell the truth. They are actually allowed to lie. So I don't trust politicians. If I was sat in a fucking decaying old building earning £90,000 a year, would I really care what you thought? My constituent? I would not give a fuck. Because why would I? I'm on that pay packet. I get a nice leisurely train to London, get all my expenses paid for. Don't have to go to Bossman. I can go to Marks and Spencer's. You live in the good life. The good life. But yeah, Keir Starmer's days are numbered. We've got this Gorton by-election coming up at the end of this month, and that's going to be great. I think, if Starmer's not gone by the 12th, he'll definitely be gone when this by-election happens. That'll be a huge, huge kick in the face, really, which is probably deserved at this point. Metaphorically, of course, But he should have let Andy Burnham run. Andy Burnham, if he'd become the MP, could have got Andy Burnham into the Labour Party. Labour could have had Andy Burnham as the leader. They wouldn't be worried. They'll probably win the next election with Andy Burnham in. I'm not particularly a Labour fan. Said it before. Yeah, that's today's video. We've got Starmer on his way out. He'll never quit. He looks like he's going to quit, doesn't he? He looks fed up. Yeah, he's not got long. But yeah, let me know what you think.